Atiku Abubakar says that this judgment is bereft of substantial justice, while Peter Obi is saying that, look, this is not enough for us to be able to say that there's justice, that there's difference between judgment and justice, and that most Nigerians, we can all see, are not even on the street celebrating with the APC. Talk to us about all of that.
But it sounds like suddenly those two men have become serious lexicon of jurisprudence. They now begin to define judgment and color judgment the way they feel, you know. Well, naturally, when someone loses, it hurts. The two men are hurting from their loss. It's a natural process in life. But when the judgment of Osun came against APC in favor of PDP, there was no truncation of justice. There was no travesty of justice. There was no comment. When the judgment of Obi, when Obi reclaimed his judgment from the Supreme Court in Anambra, it was all right. So, if we call ourselves Democrats, we should be able to take the pain of loss. If we do not have that kind of mindset, we don't have any business in politics. Because when you get into politics, it's either you win or you lose. Those two men have lost gallantly, and they will continue to lose until another election. I tell you that for free.
Well, they say the judgment was full of technicalities. The judges didn't look at the substantial issues in the case. Witnesses that were subpoenaed were actually dismissed by these judges. And of course, they fear for the future. What's your response?
They are not fearing for the future. They are fearing for themselves. People should learn to put issues right. We are not morons in this country that want some men will just come and use language in a way that will suit them and feel everybody will buy into it.
Well,
what exactly?
When you say morons, you know, we're on TV.
No, I'm sorry. We are not fools. I'm sorry for the language.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the language. But we can understand. There's a legal process. Everybody involved, they had an opportunity to argue their cases. They did actually argue their cases sufficiently. If the argument of their lawyers, you know, was not sufficient or convincing enough for the judges, and the judges gave judgment the way they felt right, professionally felt right, what is the essence of now trying to make the judgment look, you know, dissatisfactory and injurious to jurisprudence? That is, you cannot, because you are losing a case, denigrate the judiciary. That is not proper. They should always understand that the political system is a combination of them, us, and even other people. Therefore, preservation of the political system is very important to us, to Nigeria. By extension, respect for the judiciary is key. You don't begin to denigrate the judiciary because it hasn't gone your way. It's not, it doesn't make sense. If you say to me that 176,000 polling booths or so had irregularities, even with my common sense, I'm not a lawyer, even with common sense, you say 176,000 polling booths had irregularities, but you fail to produce one polling booth with figures that will show that irregularity, and you think that the judges will take you seriously. How come they did not call one witness to say from that polling booth among their followers to say, okay, yes, this is what happened in my polling booth?
They had 13 witnesses called. Only 3 were accepted by the court, and 10 were 10 of those
thrown out.
Yeah, 10 of those were thrown out.
Yes, because you can't be reprobating and approbating at the same time. You cannot. There's a principle in law they call nemo judex in causa sua. You can't be a judge in your own. You are not the judge. You have presented a case to the judge. The judge has a responsibility, a professional responsibility at that, to peruse your case.
Yeah, but they said they took the leave of the court to actually subpoena some of those witnesses. How come the same court decided to throw 10 out of their 13 that's for the Labour Party?
Yes, I'm sure you know very well that I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, but you just quoted
But I have common sense.
Okay, you have an understanding of law.
I mean, of course, I did a couple of courses in law, and I know a bit of it. You see, for me, honestly speaking, if you go to court to say there are, you see, how do you even go to court to say that the whole of the polling booths in Nigeria had irregularities? So those ones that are in your favor, what happens to them? I don't get, you know. Right. Common sense is not even on their side. I really can't understand. I'm talking to you personally as a human being. I do not understand their case. Even to me, they don't have a lot of merits.
Now let's talk about this latest development that is coming on. The Atiku's aide, Frank Shaibu, has just said now that the document that had the verdict of the Presidential Petitions Court had Tinubu's, legal team typed on it and all of that. Does it in any way mean that maybe Tinubu's team had access to it before others? And why should that be? Shouldn't it be that is those who need to appeal that should have had this, if that was the case, that there's need for more explanation by the court? Do you have any hindsight?
I do not have any hindsight, but if they have any issue, they should go back to court. This, one of the major problems they had was attempting to give media justice or media, whatever you call it, to come on social media, create a scenario of fear, a scenario of intimidation, and believing that will help their case. They have started, they haven't learned. See, because if I were them, I would de-emphasize my presence on social media, because it had no contribution, it had no significance to how the case. It's even making your case worse, because social media does not have any impact in how the judgment is perused or processed.
Okay, let's take a look at how
if they think that Tinubu media office or whatever is on the letterhead, let them go to court again and start to blow money on that. It's fine, it's fair. Okay. They shouldn't engage Nigerians in such trivialities.
This is politics. Now, let's talk about how the APC has been receiving this judgment and all of that. The opposition say we didn't see lots of Nigerians on the street celebrating with you and President Tinubu. What actually happened? How come APC members are not so much on the street to celebrate? Or is it the economy that's affecting them? And then secondly, we saw only President Tinubu enjoying himself in India and with his team. Talk to us about how APC and the president have been receiving this victory.
See, let me tell you, both Peter Obi and Abubakar Atiku and their followers do not actually understand the mood in APC. APC, we came to power with a serious mindset. We can appreciate the enormity of the problems in Nigeria. And we came to power, we came to government because we now know that we are saddled with high responsibility and heavy expectations from people. As a result of that, a serious-minded leader like Bola Tinubu does not have time for frivolities,
including his own victory.
What victory?
Well, we saw him.
Is that not enough for any normal standard? Well, or do we need to roll out drums on the streets? What are we celebrating when our country is going down by the minute? We have a responsibility to rescue Nigeria. Shouldn't that be a more important issue?
Well, interesting indeed, considering
everybody in APC, including me, know that we must do something spectacular to revamp, to save Nigeria from a collapse.